Middlesbrough have completed their first signing of the summer, but it might not be the one that you were expecting. The club have confirmed on Friday morning that a deal has been completed to sign Myles Peart-Harris as a free agent this summer. He joins on a 4-year contract for a free transfer following the expiry of his deal with Oxford United. Now, Peart-Harris joined Oxford just in January this year. It was just a short-term deal, but following their relegation from the Championship to League One, he was keen to consider his options, see what was out there, and ultimately that's brought him to the attention of Middlesbrough. Now, Peart-Harris is a player that Middlesbrough have been tracking for a little while. He's someone who is well known to the Middlesbrough staff. He played under Adi Vivesh during their time together with Chelsea. Peart-Harris is a product of Chelsea's youth academy. He then went on to join Brentford before then heading on to Oxford United. And now it seems that he is keen to kick on. He's keen to find a home, somewhere where he can really show his potential. And it seems like Middlesbrough is the place where we'll be hoping to do that. So a little bit about Peart-Harris for those who don't know about him. So he is a 23-year-old player. He's a forward by nature. His best position is playing on the left flank. He likes to get forward. He's someone who's pacey, energetic, very big, very powerful, someone who could be a real handful down that left-hand side. But it will be interesting to see where he fits into Middlesbrough's plans. So speaking after completing that move, so Peart-Harris said, "I'm delighted to be here. Everyone is aware that this is a massive club which is moving in the right direction, and I want to be a part of this great project. As soon as I was told Middlesbrough were interested, I just wanted to get it done. It's a very good footballing side with a great manager and a strong support, so it's brilliant to be a part of it now." So, as I was saying, so Myles Peart-Harris spent over 10 years with Chelsea's youth academy before he left to join Brentford in 2021. He spent 4.5 years with the Bees and made 9 first-team appearances for the West Londoners, including 4 in the Premier League. And during that time, he had loan spells, as well as that with Forest Green Rovers and Portsmouth and Swansea City. Now, he then joined Oxford in January, as I mentioned. He joined midway through the season. He made 20 appearances in all competitions, and it was, I guess, was inconsistent during that time. He showed moments of real quality during that time with Oxford, but then he did also frustrate. If you look at the fans forums from an Oxford point of view, I think a lot of them weren't too disappointed that he moved on. I think he's one of these sort of quite enigmatic players, someone who has moments of real quality, moments of real class, but then often tends to go missing a little bit. So that's something that Middlesbrough will need to get on top of, something that Middlesbrough will need to harness in the right sort of way. But I think as far as I'm concerned, this does seem like a deal that makes sense as far as Middlesbrough are concerned in the immediate future, but then also in the long term as well. So I think from a business point of view, of course, signing Peart-Harris on a free transfer means that it's a bit of a no-brainer. Yes, the signing on fees and that sort of thing, but it means that it's relatively low risk. Now, as far as I understand it, the other clubs who were interested in signing the 23-year-old were sort of like lower-end championship clubs. So I imagine, obviously, I don't know in terms of specific numbers on wages and that sort of thing, but I can't imagine this will be have been a super expensive deal to do. So for Middlesbrough, I guess the risk in doing so is it's fairly low, it's fairly limited. It does seem like one which is a bit of a free hit, really. It's not one where Middlesbrough have had to commit loads of money to this deal. It's not one which is a huge financial gamble. And so from that point of view, it's a minimal risk but potential high reward, because Peart-Harris is a player who was very, very highly rated at Chelsea, very highly rated at Brentford. He hasn't really got himself going as a senior player, but he has shown little moments of quality in those teams. But I think when you look at the sides that he has played for on loan in Forest Green Rovers and Portsmouth and Swansea, none of those sides have really been teams who have been on the front foot, teams who have really looked to dominate opponents. And so maybe coming into a side like Middlesbrough could be exactly what he needs, a side where he can really showcase his attacking talents. I mean, under Kim Hellberg, we know what the system is going to be. We know how Kim Hellberg likes to play his team. We know that he likes to go out there and it's very fast, it's very intense, it's very attack minded. That's something which could play perfectly into the hands of Peart-Harris. And as a player who is very fast, pace is his key attribute, really. That is something that Middlesbrough have been crying out for. It is something which could be a real boost for us from that point of view. So from a financial point of view, I think there's relatively low risk from this one. I think that makes it a decent signing from that point of view. But as I said, he was very, very highly rated as well, which means that he could be a strong addition, someone who does have a a decent ceiling to kick on and show what he's about. But in terms of him fitting into Middlesbrough's team, there's also a real need for pace in that side as well. I think we are going to be looking for a number of attackers this summer. We're going to be looking for centre forwards, yes, but we are going to be looking for wide players as well. That has been part of the brief that Middlesbrough are going to be looking for wingers with real pace, people who like to get on the ball, get on the outside of the defender, get balls into the penalty area and really look to take on their man. That's something that we've really been lacking, particularly over the last 12 months. You can probably look back to when Middlesbrough had Ben Doak, or Ben Gannon Doak as he's now known. He was the last real proper winger that Middlesbrough had on the books, and I think it's that sort of profile that Middlesbrough are kind of looking for. And I think Peart-Harris certainly fits the bill in doing that. I mean, I think looking at the squad at the moment and looking at the other plans that we do have for this transfer window, will Peart-Harris be an automatic starter? Is he going to be the absolute star of this team? I mean, you'd have to suggest probably not at this point, but is he a good squad player, someone who can be a real impact player, potentially off the bench, someone who could play a decent amount of minutes this season, but maybe not be the most reliable? I think he could. I think he certainly has a role to play. As I said, I think it's quite a low risk signing. I think he offers something that's different to anybody else in Middlesbrough's attack right now. I think in terms of profile, he might be probably the most similar player that we've got in terms of profile to him is someone like Delano Bergzorg, but I'd imagine that he'll be moving on this summer. So for me, this seems like a good move. It seems like a decent move. Someone who's coming in for a free transfer, relatively modest wages, but someone who's got a decent ceiling and someone who will battle hard and will want to prove themselves. Because as I said, things haven't gone exactly how Peart-Harris would have wanted them to over the last few years. They haven't gone particularly well with Oxford, with Swansea, during his time at Brentford as well. So he's going to have a real point to prove. This is going to be a big opportunity for him, for Peart-Harris. So he's going to want to come to Middlesbrough, prove himself under Kim Helberg and show that he can be a regular starter. So in terms of bulking up those attacking options, in terms of bringing in players who can make a difference, whether it's off the bench or in the starting 11, I do think that Myles Peart-Harris could be a really, really decent signing. So as far as additions go, as a first signing of the summer, I think it's really encouraging. I know that some fans on social media not quite convinced on this one just yet, which is completely fair enough. I guess the proof will be in the pudding once the other season gets underway. But I think given the finances on this one, given the need for pace and power and depth in that attacking area, I think personally that this could be a decent signing and one which could pay off certainly in the long run. So I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think about the deal to sign Myles Peart-Harris. He is Middlesbrough's first signing of the summer transfer window. So drop into the comments below. Let me know what you think of the signing of Myles Peart-Harris. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit like and please do hit subscribe. Hopefully there'll be a few more signings coming up very, very shortly. But for now, I will catch you later.